everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Salesforce for astrology services. So I am an owner of an astrology services business and I receive a lot of leads and inquiries for our business in my IndiaMART account. And I use Salesforce as my CRM application in my business. Here what I want is that as soon as by the potential customers or clients, a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account and I'm going to receive a new lead. What I want is I want to add that lead in my Salesforce account. Now doing this manually is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between IndiaMART and Salesforce with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Salesforce for astrology services. So as an owner of an astrology service business, I use IndiaMART to generate leads and connect with potential clients who are interested in astrology consultations. And I use Salesforce to manage and track my inquiries efficiently. By integrating IndiaMART with Salesforce, every time by the potential customers or clients, a new lead or an inquiry is going to be generated in IndiaMART, automatically that same lead is going to be added in my Salesforce account. This automation allows me to nurture my leads, analyze customers' data, and refine my marketing strategies, ultimately helping my business to grow and reach more people. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps in front of you in which you can see all the products that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Salesforce for astrology services. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Okay. After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I have created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select IndiaMART Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Salesforce for astrology services, and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One over here says trigger, other says action. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as IndiaMART. As for my astrology service business, I'm receiving a lot of leads and inquiries from the potential customers or clients in my IndiaMART account. I want that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, automatically the trigger over here should capture the response of that. So that is why for my trigger application, I've selected it as IndiaMART, and for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as new leads. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Now using this unique webhook URL, we're going to build the connection between IndiaMART and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, I'm going to log into my IndiaMART account that I want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is the account, and to connect this account from the left side of the panel, I'm going to go to this lead manager option right here. After landing on the lead manager page, on the top left corner it says menu. I'm going to click on this button. From the drop down, I'm going to go to import export leads, and from the given options, I'm going to select this push API option right here. As we're going to do that, you can see we're going to land towards push API integration page. And now over here it says select source. For that, I'm going to click on this drop down, and the given source is not provided in the drop down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the source over here as other. As I'm going to do that, this dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the platform name and the URL. So firstly, for the platform name over here, I'm going to give it as Pabbly Connect. This is the platform name, and for the URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And then I'm going to click on the save button. A dialog box is again going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the reason why are we activating this API. For that, I'm going to select the random reason from the drop down and click on this button right here. As I'm going to do that, you can see the webhook URL is now been successfully added to my IndiaMART account. As now the URL is added, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. It is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether IndiaMART is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a test lead in my IndiaMART account. And after generating the test lead, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test lead being generated or not. And how can I generate the test lead? With the help of my IndiaMART users account. So I'm going to open my IndiaMART user account right now. So this is my IndiaMART users account, and now I'm going to generate the test lead. For generating the test lead, I have created a dummy product. So I'm going to search for the product that I've created over here. So this is the dummy product that I've created. I'm going to select this product, and with the help of this product, I'm going to generate the test lead. I'm going to click on this contact supplier button. It is asking for all these details. So I'm going to select the random details over here. It is asking for the message over here. This is the inquiry. So I have the inquiry as I run a business and I want to know the best time of expansion. So this is the required inquiry that I have. And I'm going to click on this next button. For the GST number, I'm going to provide the dummy GST number right over here. And then I'm going to click on this submit button right here. As I've done that, it sees the details are sent. So as now the test lead is generated, I'm going to go back to my workflow over here and scroll down. And as you can see over here, the response of the lead being generated has been captured in our trigger. Let us tally the response. For the unique query ID, this is the query ID. Status comes as success. For the subject, this is the dummy subject. This is the state of the lead, that is Madhya Pradesh. Name of the lead is Angel. You can see right over here. If I'm going to further scroll down, for the phone number, this is the mobile number of the lead. For the email address as testuser@pabblytudes.com. Country as IN, that is India. Company is test company. City is Bhopal. Address is Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. If I'm going to further scroll down, over here you can see the query date and time when it was generated. This was a dummy test product name. You can see right over here. And this is the same inquiry that we have generated. Let us tally it. It says I run a business and I want to know the best time for expansion. So this is the inquiry with the details that we have selected right over here. Okay. And with all the other details. So as now the response of the lead being generated in our IndiaMART account has been captured over here in our trigger in our workflow. This means that IndiaMART is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. My objective is that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, I want to add that lead in my Salesforce account as well. Now for that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Salesforce, okay? And for the action event, I'm going to select it as create lead, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have. After that, click on connect with Salesforce. A window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this is saved process, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. And as I've done that, you can see I've successfully authorized Salesforce to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for all these details, with the help of which we are going to create a new lead in our Salesforce account. So for the data of these fields, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on the field, this was the previous step, that is IndiaMART new leads. As I'm going to click on it, this is the same response that was captured in our previous step. Over here, it is asking for our lead's first name that we want to create in our Salesforce account. In this response, we have received our leads data, and I want to create the same lead that was generated as a lead in my Salesforce account. So for the data of this field of the first name, I'm going to select the data of the name of my lead from my previous response. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I've mapped the data, now the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Next, it is asking for the last name. So in this response, I have received the name of my lead, but I have just received the first name. So for the last name, as this is a required field, I am going to select the data of the first name as the last name over here as well. Next, it is asking for the title. So for the title over here, I'm going to write it as New IndiaMART lead. Okay, so this is the title over here. For the company name over here, I'm going to search for the company name and I'm going to map the data of the company name right here. For the phone number over here, I'm going to map the data of the phone number that I've received right over here of my lead. For the email address, I'm going to map the data of the email address that I've received. If I'm going to further scroll down, it is asking for the description. So for the description over here, I'm going to map the data of the message that I've received right over here as the description. Lead source, as the source is not provided in the drop down, I'm going to toggle this map button on, erase the existing data from here, and over here I'm going to write it as IndiaMART lead. Okay, so this is the lead source. For the status, I'm going to leave it as open, rating as hot. For the address over here, I'm going to search for address right over here and I'm going to map the data of the address right over here. For the city over here, I'm going to map the data of the city right over here, and for the country name, I'm going to map the data of the country name right over here. So this is the data, I'm going to map it. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button right here. As I've done that, we have received a response, which is a positive response, and I'm going to open my Salesforce account. So this is the leads page of my Salesforce account. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I've refreshed the page, the recent items you can see over here, a new lead has been added in my Salesforce account in the name of Angel. This is the company, that is test company. Title is New IndiaMART lead. Status comes as open. Source as IndiaMART lead. This is the phone number of our lead with the email address as testuser@pabblytudes.com. Rating comes over here as hot. If I'm going to further scroll down, for the description, this is the same inquiry and the details that we have selected. This is the address you can see of our lead right over here with all the other details. As now a new lead has been created in our Salesforce account, this means that we have successfully created an automation between IndiaMART and Salesforce with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of an astrology service business and using IndiaMART I promote my business and I use Salesforce to manage all the leads. I found that over here for the trigger I've selected as IndiaMART new leads, as whenever by the potential customers or clients a new lead is going to be generated for my business in my IndiaMART account, over here the trigger is going to capture the response of the leads details. And over here for the action I've selected as Salesforce create lead, as with the help of this response that is captured, the lead that is generated is automatically going to be added in my Salesforce account using this action step. And with Pabbly Connect, I have built a connection between these two applications in this manner. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.